I love you, Bailee. Always and forever. I miss you already. Damn it. I woke up on time. I set my alarm for 5:30. Well, I think the thing about today was I think I woke up before the alarm, and then all of a sudden the alarm was on. I'm like, yo, how the hell did it happen that fast? And then I think I really got up at like 5:45, charged a little bit more, and then I was like, I'm gonna just go ahead and move. I think what got me this morning, I don't know, as far as like having a routine, I was trying to figure out what's the first thing I used to say to Bailee. I'm not sure about the first thing, but I know at some point I'm like, all right, come on, babe, let's go, let's walk. Went to a park today. So the thing about the walk today was I was walking, but I was walking so slow. And I used to think about, oh, I can't do this because I got a dog. I can't do this because I got a dog. I can't do this, I can't do that. As if to say she was slowing me down. I was walking so slow. It took me a long time. And I saw this older couple walking. I never talked to him before. And I wasn't going to talk to him today. Hopefully it's closer, I can sound better. But I used to say, can't do this, can't do that because I got a dog, she's slowing me down. As if to say she was slowing me down. I was walking so slow. And this couple walking their dog, they had like a poodle. He was a little lighter than mine. And I didn't plan on talking to him. But I saw the dog. I was like, hey, Poochie. I gave a little smirk. But I kept walking. But then the guy, he said, where's your dog? I had never talked to them before. I just nodded my head. And they was walking towards me. And then I said she died. And or something like, and then I asked to pet their dog. It was like, yeah, sure. But then she asked me what happened. And when she asked me what happened, that's when I cried. I turned my head. Said she got hit by a car. I didn't pet the dog. So that's gonna be interesting. Because I had the choice to pet a dog today, and I didn't do it. So I'm not sure what's that to say about anything. But I didn't pet the dog. I decided I don't know. I don't know the next time I'm going to pet a dog. I asked and they said, yeah, you can pet the dog. She asked what happened. I cried, turned my head. I said, thank you. Kept on walking. I didn't journal yesterday. And so my way of trying to make sure I at least try to journal in case I try not to forget something or whatever. So I go to leave a comment on her post, and I don't know. I looked up. I know the address. I know the address. I know the address. And technically, the one time I looked up, I seen it. Thank you, Bailee. So I looked up, seen the address. Technically, that's the address she kind of passed away at. That's when she got hit. And it was like, I saw it, but didn't register it. And then I was like, I'm about to pass the way she passed away at. And then I was like, oh, that's the address. So it was just like, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Thankfully, I saw it. And so I walked past that spot. Then another car stopped. Jamaican lady said, "What's up?" She said, "What's up?" She older, but she was like, "What's up?" And then I told her as well. She got a dog the same age, 5 years. Bailee was 5 years old. 5 years and 21 days. I looked up 2 different things. How many days is from her birthday to the day, and how many days since I had her to the day? I think that one was 5 months and 21 days. I don't think I had her no longer than that. Not a month over. 5 years and not a month older. Her dog the same. Her dog is 5 years old. I saw another car stopped. Say, what's wrong with this picture? I'm an artist. I'm a photographer. What's wrong with this picture? I said she died. I saw 3 different people, and they all asked about my dog. They all knew something was off. Something was wrong. The first one I never even talked to before. I kept walking. I went to the river. And I can hear her drinking water. I walked to the spot where I would sit down and charge my phone. God said, "Which way you going?" I ain't think he was talking to me. He was like, "You fucked up out here?" And then I looked again. He talking to me. He's like, "I ain't got much. I got some change." He said, "Just call me Sip." He from Mississippi. He just got out of jail. He spent 8 years in jail. He said, I don't even talk to people, so. I asked him what his 30s was like. He said, "I spent my 30s in jail." I told him about my dog. He said, "If you had died and your dog was still living, what you think she would be doing?" I was like, "Bailee would have a good home already." If it was me instead of her, Somebody would have picked her up and took her to a good home. Bailee wouldn't have been homeless for more than 24 hours. If Bailee had to be by herself, if I died and Bailee was by herself, Bailee would still be living. She would have a good home. He said, keep your head up. That's what everybody say. You know, if you ask most people for advice, the most common piece of advice they're going to say, keep going. Keep your head up. He said, fight or flight. He said something about Red Bull gives you wings. The only reason I laughed was because I was like, Bailee got her wings. But I said it in my head. That's the only reason I laughed. He gave me some change. I ain't asked for it. Like when people used to give me stuff, it would be out of sympathy for my dog. So, for somebody to see me without my dog and still willing to give to me, that was all right. Conversation has to say, do you believe in God? I'm not sure what I believe in. Yes, you gotta believe in something. Some type of higher power or something. He said, you know what dog is backwards? He said something else I thought was interesting. You know, sometimes a lot of people say things I heard before, and I get bored. He actually said something I was like, I never heard that before. It's crazy I forget what he said. And then, I got lost in the woods. Instead of taking a normal path, I was like, let's go down this one. Because that's what Bailee would want to do. Bailee would want to explore. Bailee would want to walk around. I'm walking. I'm like, oh, you would have loved this, Bailee. Because I was lost. But I knew I was just following the path. But I was just lost. And I was like, Bailee would have liked this. You got a new path today, babe. As I'm walking, I have less stuff in my bag. Like I'm not carrying as much. And it feels heavier. Bailee's not here. And I'm walking slower. My bag feel heavier. Every time I lift up my arm, it'd be hard to breathe. And I ain't noticed none of this. And since she been gone, everything been heavy. My whole body, my chest, my feet. You got lead feet. I'm walking slow as a bitch. And Bailee not pulling me. I was like, how the hell do I have less stuff and it feel heavier? My shoulders, I just want to drop my shoulders. But that was the only time I cried today. They asked for me I asked could I pet the dog, and I was like, I ain't gonna pet the dog. But I had to keep walking. Because it's 3 different tables. I took this and I carved their name into the table. And I did the same thing by the water too. When I got to the water, there was this one part, it's a pier. Bailee would go onto the pier, and I never knew she would go to the pier. Like, we're walking on the sand, but then you got to turn to go to the pier. Bailee used to go on the pier, and I'd be like, I never went to the pier. But today I went to the pier for Bailee. And then I took out my knife, and I carved her name into the wood. I got lost in the woods, and then I finally made it over there. And I got some water at the water fountain. I used to get her. I sat down, but I sat down at a table that's closer to the front. We used to sit in the back. It was like 2 other cars there. Then I just sat there for a while, and that's when I noticed how heavy everything was. And then when I looked up, the park was empty, and I got mad. Said, damn it, Bailee. I could never say I was lonely. I could never say I was lonely. But after those cars left, it's all right. I said, damn it, Bailee. Then I walked around the park, and I said, oh, nah. I grabbed a tree branch. I was looking for one. That's what Bailee would have did. Bailee would have sat beside me under the bench the whole time. And then as soon as I got up, she would have started walking around. She would have found a branch, not a stick. I threw 2. I saw an actual branch. And I feel some type of way because, like, I know the park workers that work there. And the park workers have to come through and put the branches and all this stuff back. They got to cut down the trees and cut the trees back so they don't have too much overshadowing. And I still took a branch off of that, and I threw it. Yes, she was. Threw the branch. And then I saw this other stick, and it just looked like a stick that she would chew. And I just threw that one too. So I threw a couple sticks, I threw a couple pine cones along the way. And I finally got up. Well, I was asking myself, well, her. First lesson is, you gotta play every day. So, actually, I went to the safe spot before. I thought it was gonna rain. I was like, all right, babe, this is gonna be the 3rd time it rains since you've been here, and I'm gonna stand outside, I'm gonna stand in the rain. It didn't really rain for real. And when I went to the safe spot, like, it's usually the last spot that we laid in. The last time we laid down, thank God I got it on video. Boy. Oh yeah, this would be crazy for me not to say this. So I took my first nap without her. Like the first day, I only had 1 hour of sleep. The first day I had 1 hour of sleep. And I laid down in the spot the last time I saw her ever lay down. And I couldn't go to sleep. I was like, nah, I gotta go bury her. I gotta go bury my girl. But I stayed up. I stayed up the whole day. And then I thought about that, man. I was like, me taking a nap without Bailee. So I couldn't, since it rained the other day, the river flooded. So I can't even get to the spot that the spot that we last laid in. I couldn't get to it. So the last time this happened, we went, and it's just reminded me, like, the last time this happened, I was like, shit, I don't know how I'm gonna get Bailee over this. Bailee could fucking jump. Boy, I ain't even, I could get over the jank. Bailee jumped over it. She was so athletic. I just remember crossing it, and then I looked back to see she had already jumped over and was running. And so usually, in the spot that we last laid in, she would bring me a pine cone and I would throw it up there, and she wouldn't see me throw it, so it would get lost, and it would take her a while to look for it, but she always found it. And so this time we're up there. I'm up there. And it's supposed to rain. It was cloudy. It almost kind of started, like, I felt some drops. So it was a little bit darker than usual. So I'm there. And then, again, when I go to lay down, I had to thank Bailee because I could not go a day without talking. There was a day I tried to go a day without talking and not say nothing to nobody. You know what made me talk? I was so mad I broke my silence. Bailee, I could not be quiet around Bailee. And I went to put my stuff down, and I was like, at some point, somehow, some way, she would have did something like, if I would have go to lay, bro, she would have laid on my stuff, and I would have had to tell her to move. It was something. Bailee would have did something for me to complain. I miss being mad at you. I miss being mad at Bailee, bro. I ain't got no reason to be mad no more. Bro. I miss being mad. I can't get mad at her no more. She not here for me to get mad at her. And I ain't mad at her. I'm just sad at you, bro. And I keep thinking about it. And because I know that it's my fault. And I started thinking, I ain't never seen her do that before, man. You ain't never do that before, man. And I still could have called your name. You could have ran back towards me. I ain't mad at you, bro. I'm sad at you, bro. They gonna look at me and say, that dog was so smart. And it make me so mad. Because she was so smart, bro. So every time she did something that was dumb, I'd be like, Bailee, you too smart to be acting like this. Bro. And I say, if I had to sit here and just think about it, and people like, you wasn't like, why you so comfortable? You should have just did. Yeah, and she ain't never did that. That ain't never shit. Like the wood, she ain't never did that, bro. She ain't never did that, bro. Before I lay down, though, I think I watched the last live stream that I had her, and At the end of it, the whole end of the live stream, she right here with me. I'm just laying down, playing music. She want to be all in the camera. I'm like, I ain't gonna move. You gonna be all in the camera. I'm joking her and shit. I'm so mad because I keep muting. I keep muting and unmuting the songs because I don't want to get hit with a copyright. I should have just let that bitch play. And then, so the end of the live stream is me and her. And then, at the end of it, I'm talking about, this is what kind of get me today. This what kind of gets me. At the end of that live stream, I said the same thing that I said in the last video. My last video with Bailee, I talked about the lady who had the dog and he took a picture of her dog on the boat. So if they're in some type of water, and it was like a sunset, she took a picture of her dog. And I said, that shit made me so goddamn sad. I said, I was talking about that at the end of the live stream. When I go to make the video today, that day, I start the video saying the same goddamn thing. And that's the last time. I'm so glad that I got that video. My last live stream I had with her that day, and then that video. What happened from there? So yeah, I took my first nap today without Bailee. We make it to the park, and then I'm just like, man. Another thing I learned from Bailee. Keep moving. Bailee want to move. So I'm like, okay, which way we gonna go, Bailee? I gotta visit her grave again. I saw her this morning. I gotta go back. But I had a thought. I was like, maybe I should try to get some pizza today. Be the first time I eat pizza without Bailee. I said, I gotta walk back to her grave. I don't feel like walking that far. If I had to go between there and there, I'd rather just go back to her grave. So, but I'm like on this way. Now this right here, again, it was raining. Me and Bailee was right over there, right by the tree. Then, when it started raining, we got underneath this little bit of coverage. I forget. I used to know that. I used to know the name of this thing. Like the part of a building that extends out where like you could just stand under it. I'm not even sure. An awning. This building has an awning. We laid under this awning, and it rained. I've been in this spot in the rain with Bailee. Every time it rains, I'm gonna stand in the rain. At least for 10 seconds, Bailee. At least for 10 seconds. I had no reason to say anything or do anything. Yet, 4 people talked to me. I'm not trying to initiate any conversations. 4 people still talk to me. The first 3 people asked me about my dog. Because they knew my dog. Or they at least see me with my dog. Then, I was like, I'm going to come over here. And so, my promise to Bailee is, I'm never going to eat all my food. Because I started walking, I said, I'm not hungry. But I would always try to do something for Bailee. Gotta do something. I'm gonna have to share with Bailee. So she won't have none of my soda, but I got a honey bun. So I'm not gonna finish the honey bun. I got, of course, we got a regular. Hold on. Bailee want me to always play. Bailee want me to play. I gotta figure out something funny to say. Hold on. This is, I was walking. And I was walking, bro, and I'm like, damn. I was like, even me sitting here thinking about it, bro, even the, I don't know what the fuck you want to, I don't know what I don't know what you want to say. The worst shit that you can possibly think of doing to spend your time. It was better with Bailee. I'm sitting here walking. This walk is better with Bailee. I'm sitting down, not saying shit. The silence is just better with Bailee. Yo, I tell you what, if I'm gonna sit down and just shut the fuck up and not do nothing, oh, it was better to be there with Bailee. If I was gonna sit down and shut the fuck up and be quiet, bitch, it was better than I tell you what, hey, bruh, if I could have Bailee back, I'm just talking, I'm just chatting now. But if it was, do you want Bailee back, or you can no longer talk for the rest of your life? Bitch, you can have my voice. Oh shit, bro. Oh shit. If that was the option, let me write that down. I'm writing Bailee book, bro. I'm writing her goddamn book. I gotta put that in her book, bro. Oh. Huh. Boy, I tell you what. I'ma write that bitch down. The silence is better with Bailee. You know what they say? I might tell a joke, but I won't tell her. The silence is better with Bailee. Whatever is the worst thing you could possibly think of, it was gonna be better with Bailee. The worst was better with Bailee. So I just wrote that part right here. Right here on this side, though, when I said, this is what I wrote earlier today. I said, why doesn't a month start with the letter B? Because I'm trying to figure out, I don't even remember what I was trying to figure out. I was really trying to think about some type of date for something. And I'm sitting here like, well, which month should I choose? Which month and day to choose? And I'm not even sure I'm trying to choose a month and a day for, but I'm like, none of these bitches start with B. None of these bitches start with a B. But I said, if anything, it'll probably be February. Ain't that the love month? So, what I wrote today, I said, how did you give me so much energy? Every breath, every step feels heavy. I'm carrying less, nothing more. And it feels heavier. That's what I wrote today. How did you give me energy? If I had a choice, if I had a choice of Bailee or silence or my voice, excuse me. If I had a choice between Bailee and my voice, I'll never talk again. Boy, if I had a choice, you wouldn't hear me say shit. You wouldn't hear me say shit. If I could have Bailee back. I was wondering why her body was so stiff. I looked it up. Apparently it's some condition, rigor mortis, whatever. And they said that it happens within the first 3 to 4 hours. And then it'll probably dissipate after about 72 hours. I still don't understand why the body gets stiff. But they said, they was trying to explain it. I just read it. And then after that, the body will soften up. And then, you know, I'm just hoping that her body goes more with the earth and nothing, no animal tries to dig it up or nothing like that. So yeah, I thought about pizza. And then I just thought about making it this way. But that's because it was really hot. And so I was figuring, I was like, I would need something to drink. But when I do things, I'm still, you know, they say old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. I'm still doing certain things that I used to do. I'm gonna just title this Bailee. I'm gonna keep this book. I'm gonna call it Life Without Bailee. You know, I was thinking about writing a book for it and maybe publishing it, but I think it might be a little more sacred. You know, they be saying I be sharing too much. It might be a little more sacred if I just keep this little book to myself and never even. I should just not finish her book. Why would I write another book? That would be so disrespectful too. Bailee gonna be like, you lost your car, you wrote a book. You lost this, you wrote a book. All this other stuff that you lost and you ain't gonna give me a book though. And, you know, right now, sometimes I look at myself and I be like, the things that I want to say and do rudely. The next time I get a dog, I don't think I want to socialize it. I keep thinking like, yeah, I might want my dog to be a little bit friendly. Fuck that. My next dog gotta be different. Bailee was too motherfucking goddamn friendly. My next dog, I keep thinking like I might raise my next dog with another dog, just so they can like know each other. But I'm kind of thinking like I might need a really antisocial dog. I might really need a dog that fuck with me and nobody else. But the dog's still gonna be well trained. I'm talking like, you gonna think this dog vicious, cause it is. You gonna think this dog vicious. But when I come around, you gonna see that dog simmer down. No pun intended. You gonna see that dog simmer down. It's not a hot dog, and I know that shit corny as hell, but you gonna see that dog, you gonna think this dog vicious. Just because I gotta play for the day. We gotta do a little bit of poetry. Tangential Thoughts chat show, that shit ended. That shit ended with Bailee. We gotta start a new shit. I'm still thinking about it. I'ma call this shit my motherfucking, I'm just playing. It's just me and my air guitar. It's just me and my guitar. I'm gonna call this shit the Fake Rockstar Show. I thought about walking, but it's too motherfucking goddamn hot. It's a comedy show. I gotta have fun today. We having fun, Bailee. Let me talk my shit. I'm on my pulpit, talking my bullshit. No river, no country like the Jordan. I'm not talking Michael. I'm saying I'm on my pulpit talking my bullshit. No Chicago bullshit. So that dog, when I come around, gotta simmer down. Not a hot dog, and I know that's corny, and that's no corn dog. That shit corny. You know what I got? You know what I got? You know what I got? Do you know my second snake's name? There's a lot of seconds here. Watch this shit. I fuck with this, right? Just a coincidence. My second snake's name. So how many do you think I got? I'm not talking about times when I say seconds. When I say times, I'm not talking about multiplying. Tangential Thoughts chat show is dead, done and over with. We gotta call this shit the motherfucking Fake Rock Style. I was trying to say, I was about to go get my guitar, but that shit is hot right now. So I gotta pause and take me a drink, bro, because I'm gonna get my guitar. I'm gonna get my guitar, and I'm gonna get my motherfucking graffiti silk venom T-painted tarantula. I'm telling you. That just around me. That dog gonna simmer down. That's corny. That's a corn dog. I'm gonna simmer down. Hot dog, corny, corn dog. Damn. Fuck is you talking about? Damn. Sometimes when I be writing this shit, bro, I be like, man, I gotta make sure I know it. Know what I'm talking about. If I ever look back at this, like this shit like an H. But that's because I didn't split my I and my T. Matter of fact, it be shit. Let me talk my poetry. It be shit like this. You can't read this shit. I be writing illegible, and I'm an artist, so why is my handwriting not legible? But people look at it and know. I used to teach. I used to do this shit visually. Now I'm doing this shit digitally. I'm a digital teacher. I be teaching niggas about shit, like quite literally, like. All right, because now we talking like writing literally. All right. So if you look at this shit right here, nigga. Oh, right here. You would think this says his. It really says it is. But this looks like an H, but it's really an I and a T. So I had to write right above that an I and a T. I gotta break that shit down. And that's just in case, because if I keep this book and then something ever happens to me, like, I gotta be able to break this down. So somebody had to read this book and like, yo, what does this mean? They might have to go back to the video. Somebody might find this book one day and this is just some delusional shit. So somebody was to ever find this book, like, what the fuck does this mean? Imagine somebody trying to read this book and then looking at the video like, oh shit, maybe we can break this down and decode this thing. I don't want to confuse nobody if they was to ever find this and consider this a new chapter of the. They might circle this shit. Don't be writing in my book, man. I gotta. You know how like the footnotes be at the bottom of the page? These the footnotes. So I don't have to like. I'm gonna like put a little star or something. Then I'm gonna break that shit down right here. Like, what did you just do? What did you mean? Like. So now I had to break that last one down. It is look like his. It looked like I wrote the word his in capital letters because the I and the T were too close. I put the I and the T too close and it shit looked like a different word. That's what I be trying to say. Like, what if y'all looking at some shit? What if y'all looking at some shit and the person had a fucking typo? I forgot to write this part. What does this look like? What is it? What did you say? So let me write this down before I say it to you. Now let me say it to you. Okay, so my second snake, what was my second snake's name? Crush. What do I have to drink right now? 2 Crush sodas. But my second snake, and I got two, like, because two is not like one, like, so second, like you be in second place, but not seconds, like it's in time. Now, we got 2 honey buns, 1 iced, 1 glazed. But I'm trying to remember, I feel like the last I said something funny, or I was trying to be funny. I just feel like I said something funny the last time I had, before I was gonna eat one of these, but it ain't a Little Debbie. How about that? Okay, catch me outside. How about that? So, okay, even though it's not Little Debbie, it was on some. She ain't got no BBL. Her ass ain't fat, but her ass ain't flat. It's just like that. She got a Little Debbie, you feel me? We ain't got no Little Debbie, but we got 2 honey buns. And I was saying all that to say my second snake, second place, and seconds, but not talking about time seconds. When I say times, I'm not talking about multiplication. We got 2 crush, not my second snake crush. And you know, it's kind of disrespectful on top of my first snake. I had 2, my second snake. My second snake was called Crush. I'm gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna do it like this. My promise to Bailee, I'm never eating all my food. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna give a small piece though. Like, hold up. I wanna make sure you eye through this shit. First piece gone. I'm never eating all my food. This one's, like, Bailee right now would be drooling. And this is not an understatement. So, Bailee would be drooling right now. I can't wait to do that. That's gonna be my new slogan. Every time I eat some food, it don't even matter what it is. Bailee would be drooling right now. Thank you, babe. So, if y'all hear me saying that for a while, you know how to like, yo, this shit get old quick. I hope that it gets old quick, right? Every time I eat if I eat some good food, that's how I know. Like in the future, I saw this corny ass shirt. It said the kids are with the face of who? Future? No cartoon show, Futurama. This the shit. Thank you, babe. Thank you, babe. Now, I'm not gonna say that this is necessarily true. I'm trying to think about it, but this is what was said. This was what was said. Dogs are the only animal that can understand every language in the world. Dogs are the only animal that can understand every language in the world. I said, damn, I ain't never heard that before. I'm trying to think of what the fuck else is you changing? You see a lot, like, just Captain Obvious. The last piece. Now, two things can be true. Did I not care because to throw the last piece because I got another honey bun? Or was I keeping my promise to Bailee? I already threw 2 pieces. So I didn't eat the whole thing. So why throw the last piece? Keeping my promise. But dogs can understand every language in the world. What other animal does that? Who be really training their animals? What animal can you train in every language? Dogs speak every language of the world. I ain't never heard that before. Talk about animals. Unless you're calling a human an animal. But what's the difference between humans and other mammals? That was a good question. What's the movie quote? You're all a bunch of fucking animals. That's not it. Scarface, you all a bunch of fucking assholes. Wanna know why? Because you don't have the guts to be who you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So what'd that make you? Good? You're not good. I gotta throw this one. You're not good. You just know how to hide. How to lie. See me? I don't have that problem. See me? I always tell the truth. Even when I lie. So say goodnight to the bad guy. Shit. I'm gonna do a little piece away. About 2 couple pieces away. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Then here's an almost random fact. Here's an almost random fact. I say almost random because I don't quite remember the whole fact. I don't remember all of it. I only know part of it. That's why it says almost And it is random for me to go ahead and just try to say this. I think I need to move my phone. Hold up. I might. I'm gonna put it right here. Hopefully. So, maybe. What ends up happening? Shit. Damn, what was I about to say? I lost that thought up and walked away. What's on fire? What the hell was I about to say, bro? I'm trying to see, was it something about Bailee or am I making a joke? Oh, the almost random fact. Okay. So it was talking about the richest fictional characters, like ever, in history. Who is the richest? I'm talking about, and this is fictional, like in a movie or a cartoon, what character ever? Is it gonna be Iron Man, or is it gonna be Donald Duck? Glad I remember. This one lady, I was like, oh, you got good memory. Good answer, good answer. This one lady, she had only met me one time, but she knew the exact day that she met me. I was like, you got good memory. She was like, that's the only thing keeping me alive right now, my memory. Ain't that something to say? This is the fake rock star show. So, before I say that, let me say this. I saw something else that was supposed to be funny today. They was like courtside at an NBA game, and they circled two dudes, and they was like, y'all see the difference? Now, outside of the young black man that was circled, the other older white gentleman, race does not matter. This is not a racist joke. But maybe the punchline can be okay. The picture said, y'all see the difference between this picture and second, third? Somebody called 9/11. Oh shit. Badass joke. Call 911, bro. What's 9 plus 11? Somebody asked me how old I was today. I said 10 times 3 plus 2. They said, oh, you ain't think I know. You ain't think I know. Yeah, I be on that. He was like, nah, I be on that. I be knowing you ain't think I know. I was like, no. I really, truly just said that because I used to teach math. Nah, I didn't do that. No. I used to teach math. I used to teach math. I said, I literally, and oh. They thought I meant something different because I laughed when I said it. Asked me how old I was, and I laughed, and I gave him the math joke. So why you laugh? Why Why you laugh? And I was like, I laugh because I used to teach math, and so me giving you this math problem is only that. And it was, damn, I don't know what the hell happened. Niggas get shot every day, man. Niggas get hit by cars every day, man. So, you want to talk about gangster movies, Sam? You know how they be shooting niggas? I be watching gangster films. I watch good. Which ones you watch? I watch Goodfellas and I watch Casino. I'm like, alright, that's what the hell you talking about, man? He got whacked. He got pinched. But loose lips sink ships. You can't hold water. I mean, you gotta use the bathroom a lot. That's not what it was. Oh, the richest fictional characters. Some of the richest fictional characters you're like, all right, whose name's gonna pop up there? Like Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns. How rich is Mr. Burns from The Simpsons? Who else? Lex Luthor from Superman. All right. Are they about the same amount of riches? Like Bruce Wayne, Batman. Oh, damn it. Okay, let me say this shit real quick. Let me say this shit real fast. So, when I talked about the whole, it's two people at the game. It's two people at the game. Oh, I think this was the whole punchline for this. I think. So, it's two people at the game. The younger black gentleman and the older white gentleman. Go on. The older white gentleman is richer. And I forget the number, but it was a couple billions. I mean, no, it was a couple millions, right? Dave Chappelle was on some shit like, you know when Dave Chappelle telling this joke, I'm not sure like this shit is barely a joke. This is not even, but this is how like effortless like comedy is for him. And this is what I'm saying. It's like a really good joke. Mr. Burns. So Dave Chappelle was like, you know, he has but so much wealth or whatever, so I think he had like this many millions. But I think, or he's getting offered, you know, okay, basically let's say like, if I'm making $2 million a year, right? I forget the numbers he even said. I'm forgetting the numbers down. Okay. Like I'm playing motherfucking lottery. So, oh, come on. What was I about to say? Who the richest? Yeah, Lex Luthor. I said Lex Luthor, man. What was the last thing I said? What did I say? Shit. So, Dave Chappelle, I forget if the numbers is like 2 and 10 or 2 and 50. But let's just say it's even 2 and 10. let's say he was like, I'm already making $2 million a year, but he turned down like 10 million. And so some people were like, well, what's the difference between, 2 million and 10 million? $8 million. I'm not even sure if that was it. It could be even closer. It might have been 2 million and 5 million. It was like, oh, he could have made it. I'm not sure of the numbers, but just even to understand, right? What's the difference between like 2 million and 5 million? It's $3 million. Like, is it that big of a deal? Soulja Boy was like, millions is millions. And niggas was like, hey, bro, I forget how, like, I think because they be trying to play Soulja Boy. Yeah. So, imagine going to the strip club with $1 million. Shit would be crazy. Anybody do that? Who would do that? Would you do that? If you made $1 million in cold hard cash, would you go to the strip club and spend all of it? Like, yep, I'm gonna get it again. What's meant for me is meant for me. Hey, imagine that, right? What's meant for me is for me. That blessing ain't gonna miss me. What's the difference between 2 million and 5 million? Soulja Boy was like, millions is millions. Because I think he tried to like, nah, is it 4 or 40? Which one did you say? Millions is millions. No. Is it 4 million or 40 million? It's given. The stripper wants me. The stripper trying to give me money. The stripper is paying me. Okay. Now, if these could be some like, if this was like stand-up comedy, on-the-spot jokes, and like we can go on the road with this and tell these same jokes every day, we could do it, right? It's a fake rock star show. So that is the thing, right? Man, there's a... You know, people be role reversal. So millions is millions. We talking about the richest characters in the world. See, I'm good. We did that. I think I just mentioned all this shit I was on, like, within that. We just did that. Shit. If I ever forget, because I already done forgot, I'm going to go back and watch this. At about 82 minutes and 40 seconds. What's that, an hour and 22 minutes into the video? Like, I'm gonna remember that unless I write it down. I'm being risky. I'm being risky. I'm not gonna write that timestamp down. 1 hour and 22 minutes into the video, but it's the time before that is going to be the bars, the next words in Bailee's book, which is this: Life Without Bailee. my second crush, and my second snake was named Crush. So it's only right that my third snake is also named Crush, so that I can really say this is my second crush. No high school crush, no middle school crush. Like, so my first snake was named Nagini. My second snake was named Crush. So my third snake, his name is going to be Crush, and it will literally be my second snake named Crush. And I'm going to make sure that I got 2 Crush sodas. I might get something so motherfucking exotic, like a motherfucking pink snake or some shit. Wait, damn, son, where'd you find this? Southside Jamaica, Queens. It's a Sunday, but the sun come up every day. Like, to ever think this part of life is gonna be better without Bailee, that might humble me. To be on some, this life is better without Bailee. That's what every day is after this. It's supposed to be better without Bailee. It's crazy to sit there and imagine. Imagine, you know how you can be dependent on something? Imagine my happiness was dependent on my dog. My dog was keeping me going. That girl was keeping me going, bro. I knew things was gonna at least get better for her. Eventually. And sometimes I try to tell myself that it was better for her and us. You know? It was better for us this way. If it was always going to have to be like that in that way, there was just certain things that would, you know, when certain things have to happen, it's like living life the way we was living. If me and Bailee was to have a certain period of time together, like, and that's it, like in the grand scheme of things, me and Bailee was only supposed to have a certain amount of time together. But is there a way I could have spread that out? Kind of, sort of, maybe? Or was she only ever going to be here for a certain amount? She's only going to be here for a certain amount. And so I kind of think, like, man, I'm not sure if there's something I could have done sooner, or be of some type of way so that we could enjoy all of her days together. Ever. If she was, for instance, if she was only going to be here for 50 days, if she was only gonna be here for 50 days, would I rather live in such a way that I can spend the most time with her or the least time with her? That's something to say. If Bailee was ever going to only ever live for 50 days straight, let's just say that was the set thing, right? No matter no what, no how. That's what's gonna happen. Then for those 50 straight days, should I have worked really hard in the beginning half and then spent half and half? Like half the time I was going whatchamacallit, half the time I was going not like, not spend as much time with her. And then the rest of the half try to spend as much time as I can with her. Whereas I could have spent the whole time committing as much time as I could to her. I know that makes sense. I'm trying to make sure if I rationalize it this way, then I gotta say, then that was only gonna be the time that she was gonna be here. That was gonna be her second time being here. So the way that we lived, we got to live, we had to spend the most time together as we could. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not sure if we could have spent more time together. I'm not sure how I could have lived in a different way so that we could have spent more time together if that was the only amount of time we was going to get together. still didn't finish the joke. It's not even a joke. It's a random fact. Bruce Wayne, I think that's one of the conversations. Because I think Mr. Burns has like 1 million. But Bruce Wayne has like 6.5 million. So it's like, if you ask, it's like, well, what's the difference? If you making it $1 million a year versus you making $6.5 million a year, it's like, you know, if you could have either one, which one would you do? Or like, just if you miss out, are you willing to miss out on an extra $5 million, $5.5 million? You could turn that down. How you gonna turn that down? An extra $5.5 million. Hey, imagine if it was that, yo. Imagine if the game show was like, forget Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And like, Who Wants to Be a Billionaire? Just whatever the next step is. Like, let's say that shit starts off at $1 million, right? And then you get to ask the people, hey, would you rather have $1 million or would you rather have $8 million? What if, and then like, it's like a game show or something, but it's almost kind of sort of, who wants to be a billionaire? But imagine this game show though. Everybody would want to be on this show, right? And we're gonna ask simple ass questions. We're gonna ask simple ass questions and shit. You know that game show, Who Wants to Be Smarter Than the Fifth Grader? Hey, bro. Let me write that down. We're gonna do easy questions. They're supposed to be easy. So we're gonna ask easy ass questions. And then y'all gotta sit there and decide. We're only gonna have one contestant. We're only gonna have one contestant. And he's gonna be like, we're gonna ask just a random person, would you rather have $1 million? Could you turn down $8 million? Like, that's their choice. They're like, what if we had to tell if they were genuine? Oh, this is even better. This will make it even better. What if it's a lie detector test, but it's a fake lie detector test? It's just, I just feel like you lying. Hey, imagine having you know how a certain thing, they be like, okay, like, what's that thing called? What's that shit called? Donkey of the Day. And Duval and Cadian, they got this thing called op or no op. Like, do you have an opinion or no opinion about this? So you don't always have to have an opinion about something. Then Oh, we gotta see. You be like, I just feel like you lying. That's gonna be the name of the site. So somebody gonna be like, we gonna ask them, would you rather have 1 million or 8 million? And they're like, but you gotta tell me why you choosing what you're choosing. And then, somebody will be like, well, I would just do 1 million. I'm not, I wouldn't even want the other 7 million. Like, I couldn't spend $7 million. I couldn't even fathom. This is how one of those richest characters, we still haven't finished that joke. I'm saying all this for that joke. Pause. This is a long joke, bro. This is a long joke, bro. So, we're gonna finish this. Like a filibuster in politics. We're gonna finish this. Pause, man. I think. Using it at the wrong time. Alright, okay. Then riches. Oh. One of the characters you can't even imagine unfathomable, and like it's not even a thought. You can't even like expound upon. Hey, this is what this one said. This is the hardest shit. If you ever heard some shit, this some rich ass shit. This how rich he is. He said, I'm losing. Hey, yo. He said, I'm losing $1 billion a minute. Or he could have said second. Matter of fact, man, I won't mess it up. So, this how rich he is. He said, I'm losing $1 billion a minute. He said, I'm losing $1 billion a minute. That wasn't it. He wasn't done. He said, I'm losing $1 billion a minute. At this rate, I'll be broke in 600 years. Yo. You know how rich that is? They say it's unfathomable. You know what word I'm trying to say? It's unfathomable. You couldn't understand, comprehend how rich he is. Like somebody had to just say that in the comments because they was like, oh hell no. That's not the richest. He was like, oh hell no, that's not the richest. But I think I took the other picture I took was of him. I took the screenshot of we not there yet. Well, I think it was on. I don't think I can name the other ones. But Bruce Wayne. Oh, Iron Man is up there. Iron Man is up there too. Now, who do you think is richer? Iron Man or Batman? I'm not here to debate. You think about it. You decide for yourself. I say I think it can go. You know, we're not gonna make a choice. Who do you think is richer? How are we measuring the riches? Is it in the bank? Is it in the stash? How much of it is physical? Is any of it an asset? How is it physical? Is any of it an asset? If your best asset is your ass, listen, I know, let me just say what the men don't want to say sometimes. It just depends, right? Shit, bro. They be like, if your best asset is your ass, niggas be like, hell yeah. Like, fuck it. She might be a little crazy. She might. Some people might like her, some people might not like her. But that ass fat though. That's your best asset. Has anybody ever got away with that? Has that ever worked in the history of man? Has any man? That would be some dope ass shit to say. That ass perfect, baby. And you can't tell me, bro. Has anybody ever used that line on somebody, bro? And it worked? Imagine that's the first thing you say to somebody. And that's what she wants you to say. That ass perfect, man. I can't deny it. Let's get ready to rumble. Just counting my days. Going through my days in a days. Bailee did not get to glaze, not like the glazed honey bun. Bailee did not get to have one. Hey, did anybody ever coin make life fun again? Somebody should coin that. Make life fun again. That's something to say. Make life fun again. How can you do that? That's a challenge, I say. I gotta make life fun again without Bailee. That is true. That is a sad reality. I could about go to sleep right now. Right here. I don't think nobody would bother me. And if they did, it wouldn't bother me. And that song with Miguel, he said, regret is exhausting. is exhausting. Like the thing, oh, I could have did this or could have did that, and that ain't never gonna be true. And you keep thinking about that and why you didn't do what you could do. That is exhausting. That is so exhausting. I could about lay down. I could about lay down. Cause Bailee will lay anywhere, man. Did not matter. Bailee will lay down. Like, sometimes I just really just try to do what she would do. Like she would probably be laying right here. She would just probably be laying like on the ground. Yeah, man. He said, I'm losing $1 billion a minute. At this rate, I'll be broke in 600 years. He said, you can't even comprehend, begin to understand. It's unimaginable, unfathomable. I'm still trying to say that right. Fathomable. Whatever. You're not gonna be able to believe that shit. That like you just, it's unbelievable how rich he is. Like that's how rich he is. And they were talking about none other than Mr. Scrooge. Scrooge McDuck. So that's tough. Scrooge. That's tough. Mr. Scrooge. That nigga is rich. Like whoever's above that, I'm not even sure that's anybody you would want to be. Yeah, alright. Told you what, millions is millions. So shit. Millions is millions.
I finished on my drink. Yo, this sun is beaming, yo. No, you want the light, but you don't want it just sizzling. I might go to sleep.